Adam, and this is my buddy Alex. We said that at the same time because I was kind of hoping he would have said it. He would have picked up when he should have, but he did not, so that's fine.
That's all right.
That's all right.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. You know, this is the second episode, and we haven't really figured much out, which is okay. Since the first episode. We are a couple of guys talking about basically everything, and we don't know a thing about anything whatsoever.
Nope.
But that's so fine. It's okay.
Yeah. And that little chuckle there, that's from our guest for the day. That's ladies and gentlemen, that's Kallie over there.
That's Kallie Schell. There she is. So what we've decided to do this episode is to include our guest into our entire episode, which is a new thing. Alex, how do you feel about that?
It's not new to podcasting. I feel like a lot of people do that.
Right.
But it's new for us considering we didn't do it in the last episode.
Right. But also the last episode, we couldn't get Chris until like 2 days later.
Also true.
You know, pulling back the curtain a little bit.
Yeah, Chris sent me a text message at 6 a.m. saying he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Which is really, like, it's a great time to send somebody something at 6 a.m. Like, by the way, respond. Right. By the way, I can't do what you asked me to and that I agreed to do. But
See you later.
I think we got a pretty good episode out of him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Having already posted this last episode, we will see.
We will see.
So our next guest is somebody that we've known for a while.
Yep.
This is Kallie Schell. Hello, Kallie.
Hi.
I know you've already kind of put your voice in there already, but officially this is the first time that we're hearing you.
Indeed.
How's it going?
It's super duper. I'm so happy to be here with you two from so far away.
It's super duper.
It is super duper.
It's super duper to be the soberest one here.
Well, you say that.
I say it now.
And it's also true.
Yeah, I guess technically. I mean, I've had one.
And I've had many.
Adam's had one bottle of wine.
I've had... Well, I guess what accounts to a bottle of wine. We're recording this very, very shortly after Wisconsin Badgers basketball has won their
Elite Eight
game. Thank you, Kallie. The sports mastermind of this podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Kallie, what's a bracket?
That's unfair.
That's a sports thing that happens, is what she says.
That's something that goes on your teeth when you get braces.
There you go.
Which Kallie
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Which Kallie's had for most of her life.
Yeah, I did have them for 10 years. What about it?
Shit.
I'm just bringing it up to be unfair to you.
I just want to point out that I learned how to open beer bottles on those braces.
Which is not necessarily something to be proud of.
But also is.
So here we are, episode 2. I'm pretty proud to be doing episode.
Why's that?
Because it means that we got through episode 1 without fucking up royally.
Does this feeling grow exponentially with each episode?
It doesn't. It actually, it's kind of
diminishes.
At least your editing skills will get better. God knows the commentary might not.
Oh, thanks, Kallie. Maybe I'll edit you out of all of this.
That's why I showed up.
We'll have an episode.
See how much I could irritate you guys.
Uh-huh.
Everybody. He cuts everybody out.
Yep.
Except for myself.
You're just talking to no one. It'd be awesome.
In a conversation that will make sense to nobody.
I'll do a lot of voices that are just me pretending to be Alex.
The one-man show.
Let's give that a go, shall we?
Thank you to Reunited, and it feels so. Matt, my name is Alex. And I'm Alex. We're here to do a podcast. Two good guys who grew up together. Yeah, we did. And, oh no, I messed it up already. See, that's why I couldn't do it, I guess.
You just need a little bit of practice, buddy. Just slurring it up over here.
But at least you don't drink beer like us Midwestern folk.
Yeah.
Folk. No, I do is the problem.
That would be a real shame. Well, you guys have all your fancy schmancy beers that you guys brew in your backyards by the chicken coops.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Did you spill?
No, I did not.
Did you just lick it off your palm?
No, I did not do that at all.
For the record, yes, he did. That's exactly what happened.
Don't edit that out.
For the record, no, I didn't.
What did you do then?
Well, why did you just lick your palm?
Because I like the taste of my palms.
Ooh, salty, gross.
I tasted a lot of jasmine and a lot of cayenne pepper.
With a hint of Malbec?
Yeah. No.
What kind of wine is that?
I don't know. Hold on.
It's whatever I grabbed off the shelf.
It's whatever was pretty cheap.
I was going to say whatever was $3 at the store.
It's at Page, vintage 2012.
Oh.
Cabernet Sauvignon from the Columbia Valley.
So did your palm taste like Cabernet Sauvignon? Is that what it tasted like?
It tasted like quality Washington wine.
So you did spill?
To be clear.
I just dipped my hand into my wine. It's a very Washington thing to do. You guys wouldn't understand.
Do you guys then lick it out like a puppy? Like.
I will tell you, according to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects.
I actually have a funny story from high school that I remembered the other day.
I would hear it.
Do you guys remember we were all in physics together?
Yes, I do.
Our physics teacher was teaching us how to do some graphs with some sort of graphing program.
Yep.
And he kept saying insert. And every time he did, Adam and I would say penis.
Of course.
And Kallie would laugh hysterically.
We didn't get much done during physics class.
To the point where she got permanently moved to the other side of the room. All just from the words insert penis.
That's not the first time Mr. Engelhardt had to permanently move me somewhere in that room, because then Brian Hunt and Sam Bush ruined it for me on another end of the room.
So basically, Kallie is the worst physics student ever.
No, I think that was me.
Or me.
Or for actual content.
He just had the worst physics class ever.
Do you remember you almost died?
What?
Do you remember you almost died, Adam, in that class?
Oh, I do. I have recently watched a video of me almost dying.
What did you do?
It was probably the most heroic thing he's ever done.
Yeah, probably.
And that's saying something. Because it's
not
not a lot.
No, it was not impressive whatsoever.
What did you do?
You were there, Kallie.
Adam and I were chosen to help the teacher launch a pool ball into the air using a slingshot.
We were.
There lies the first problem, is he chose, the two biggest idiots in the class.
I don't know why, of all of the people in the entire class, first of all, he chose you. Most importantly, why he chose you.
Don't know.
You guys come across as smart.
Do we?
Compared to some of the people in our class.
Maybe. I think maybe he just liked Alex and me because we were idiots.
Insert penis.
Yeah. Insert penis. Got it. Nailed that joke. Kallie's in trouble.
It's still funny.
Because of that joke, maybe he chose me and Alex. Because he chose the two of us to hold a slingshot that shot a pool ball into the air. And the second very high. The second that pool ball shot high into the air, Alex let go of the slingshot and ran as fast as he possibly could.
So I immediately figured out that pool ball was coming straight back down at us.
And being the intellectual, scientific mind that I was, I looked at the pool ball and said, what's going to happen now? And
thus proving I have more common sense than you.
Right. Mm-hmm. But also proving that the science teacher and I had the basically same idea. We both watched the pool ball, him knowing very well what was going to happen, having done this many years in a row, and me not knowing what was going to happen, having done this no years in a row. We watched the pool ball fly high into the air, and the second it hit at apex and it just started to fall back down to the earth, the science teacher realized, oh no, I've done this the last, 10 years that I've worked at this high school. He ran away, like, an intelligent person would.
Adam didn't.
Nope, still looking at the pool ball.
I stared at the pool ball saying, it just went all the way up. Look at it. It's coming back down now.
Can we pause for a second?
Let's do that.
I just want to inform the viewers that we are on Skype, and Kallie and I get the pleasure of watching Adam stare at an imaginary pool ball in his tiny one-bedroom apartment.
I'm reliving this experience.
With a glass of wine in his hand, no less.
So what happened next, Adam?
So as I watched the pool ball, I look up and realize this ball is coming straight back down at me. And I start running in really, I don't know, any direction.
How many steps did you make it?
About 3 steps. Until I look back up and realize I have really no sense of how far this ball is from the ground. And also how far this ball is from hitting me.
Oh
So I changed directions just to maybe fool the ball.
Oh my god.
Maybe this ball thinks, whoop, I almost got him, but now he changed directions. Just like...
You juked him.
I juked him.
You juked him.
Oh my god.
Because I'm thinking...
You deked him.
Just like when I'm in Washington, D.C. and that sniper is still around, you run in zigzags to fool the D.C. sniper, right? Maybe
they're
I'll...
not skilled.
No. Because when I'm running in zigzags, he won't know where to shoot. Just like this ball crashing back down to the earth, maybe he won't hit me. And looking back on it, maybe just running in hindsight, maybe just running in one straight line may have been the best idea. Because
doubling back.
Because it would have gotten me the furthest away from just the point of
impact.
Running away just in one straight line would have been the best idea, and just jumping. Maybe that would have been a good idea. But having watched the video, I probably cut right back again, like 5 feet away from the ball. As you watch it crash back into the earth.
Leaving probably a good 6-inch crater, like deep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the ball, it's a pool ball. You could see about like a 1 centimeter of the ball as it was in the ground. It crashed back down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It had some velocity to it.
Which is why I got the fuck out of there.
Right. As the second, I don't even think the slingshot that we shot the ball with was finished completing its motion by the time Alex had run away from the slingshot. He had let that thing go.
I knew it was going to happen.
Right. And I just watched the ball because I am a scientific mind, of course.
Oh my god, Adam.
That's one way to put it.
You're
a curious soul.
I'm a curious soul.
I'd go with curious soul, and that is nice. That is a friendly way to put it.
You are curious like a cat.
I'm as curious as a cat.
That's why they call you Whiskers.
That's what I go by these days out in the Seatown.
Seattle? Seattle?
No.
Starts with an S.
Starts with yeah.
I'm on a boat right now.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm in the middle of the Atlantic.
Can someone just start playing I'm on a boat?
No.
We will not do that.
I'm putting my foot down.
Because that is 7 years in the past.
That aged me.
It's fun as watching somebody make a 7-year-old reference.
Oh, thanks, Adam.
And embarrassing themselves.
It didn't embarrass me at all.
On live podcast.
It wasn't embarrassing.
Not so much live.
Live tape.
It won't be live.
You embarrassed yourself in front of tens of viewers.
In front of
so many.
In front of ones of viewers.
I was being a little generous, going double digits.
That is the worst attitude.
All right, we are going to jump in. Do you want to talk about the Seahawks or save that for the bracket?
You know what? Let's talk about the Seahawks.
All right, this is going to go well.
Sure it will.
I don't have anything to say.
Well, you know what?
You can just help me egg him on.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like Alex has plenty to hate about the Seahawks.
I do. I have plenty to hate about them.
Because they beat him in the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, buddy.
I was cheering them on as they won that Super Bowl.
You're an asshole.
But you know what happened is I was cheering the Patriots on as they won this Super Bowl.
Still an asshole. Doesn't change that.
That's fine.
All right. So, Adam, now that you're living in Seattle,
Huh?
You and I have talked about in the past your hatred for the Seattle Seahawks, specifically the hatred of the fans of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't really hate the Seattle Seahawks so much because, they're a football team. They play football to win. That's what any football team does, is that they play football because they want to win. But what I hate is the fans of the team, which is what you just said. Because, most exclusive, they are, and I hate to say this because it's kind of a regionally specific thing, but they are exactly like the Minnesota Vikings football fans in the sense that they love their football team until they're bad. And the Seahawks fans have not really been bad in the last few years, but they have the exact same fervor of a Minnesota fan at the beginning of the season. The only difference being that the Seahawks are actually able to carry this through the entire season, where Minnesota fans are really able to carry it until the first game of the season. Football fans out here in Seattle, I've known maybe let's say two football fans, two Seattle Seahawks fans, and again, I feel like we've said this before, but I keep referring to them as the Seattle Seahawks, and so do you. I've known
they're not the Seahawks, it's the Seattle Seahawks.
They are the Seattle Seahawks. I've known two Seahawks fans who really have loved the Seahawks since they've been old enough to appreciate and love sports. Otherwise, I have really every other Hawks fan out here has loved the Seahawks since last year.
Okay.
And it's so goddamn annoying because the people here really only like the fans because this team has been successful. That's the only reason that they like their football team, which is bullshit. Because being a Green Bay Packers fan, we've had our ups and downs, but the thing about Packers fans, diehard Packers fans, which is, to be fair, most Packers fans, we love the team no matter how bad they are because of their history, and we love the franchise. The Seahawks fans, most of them really only know the team for the last 2 years.
I too don't really like the Seattle Seahawks.
Why is that?
My reasoning is purely competition based.
Uh-huh.
Because they beat my Broncos bad in the previous year's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So my hatred lies solely there.
Sure.
What were they supposed to do? Not win? Not try? I can't hold it against them.
Right.
I can just be mad that they beat us so badly.
Right. I will admit this in full force that I moved out here because I really could not hate the sports teams out here. So I move out here thinking that I am in full support of the Seahawks, and I didn't really realize how the fans were out here because I thought that maybe they had been long-suffering fans, and what I realized is that this city is just full of people who have not given a shit about the Seattle Seahawks for their entire life until the last 2 years, basically the year when they've been good and won the Super Bowl, and then this last year. That's about it, really.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, was why Adam hates the Seahawks. We'd been teasing it a little bit in the last episode, but that truly is one of the bigger problems that he complains about on a week-to-week basis. So we thought we would share it all with you.
I'm so happy that I disappointed you.
Disappointed me? No, buddy, you're fine.
No, when I say you, I just mean the general listener base in general.
So, now our next segment is
All the small things.
All the Small Things, in which we talk about the little things in life that can either make your day or break it.
Make them or break them.
Make them or break them. Pretty much you could look at it any which way. Yep. But this week, I am going to choose to talk about computers. Computers have such a wide range of uses that that have truly revolutionized how we deal with things on a day-to-day basis.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's replaced, the phone book for sure.
Yeah.
That's very helpful. All you have to do is a little Google search.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
But for me, computers have ruined my week.
Oh.
How's that, Alex?
Well, for my student teaching, we had a gigantic project due this week.
Okay.
Multiple hours of working on this thing. And I was maybe halfway done.
So is this
Monday.
Is this basically like your kind of like your final school project?
Kind of, yes.
Like this is like the culmination of your years in college. This is the week where you finish it.
Superintendents and principals can look at this.
Oh, wow.
See if they want to hire me. So it's like an important thing. It's called the TPA, the Teacher Performance Assessment.
Okay.
I've heard of that.
It's kind of set up for you to fail, in which in order to get a perfect score, it's based on somebody who has like 20 plus years of teaching experience and considered a master. Mm-hmm. Somebody having no teaching experience at all, that this assessment seems a little biased, but we have to do it. It's a requirement. I was probably, halfway done, 3/4 of the way done, and my computer crashed this week.
Oh.
Yeah. I spent close to 3 hours in the tech services here in Winona, and we recovered some of it, but I lost probably half of what I had done.
Oh my
gosh.
So yeah, it was just the worst. I lost probably half of what I had done. So I was scrambling all week. I maybe slept an hour or 2 hours a night, but I got it done. It was in by Friday, Friday by midnight. It was done, got it done. So that was my week. That's how computers, although they can be very helpful, can also just totally, completely ruin your life.
Right, and I think we've all been in that situation where a computer has totally to not try to. I'm trying not to. Oh boy. Well, basically, just fuck you. That's what. Wow, that's all right.
Basically, fuck me. Got it.
Well, no, I would sit for hours in the library on my computer, and then it was like my eyes would just start to hurt, and it's like I fucking hate computers. Like, but you have that like innate fear that it's gonna like what happened to you. Like I was like, oh my god, is all this gonna just? Is it all gonna go down the?
When I brought it into tech services, they're like, oh, don't you have like an external hard drive? And I was like, yeah, I did until my sister dropped it and like it broke.
They're not cheap.
I got a really nice one, like on sale.
I mean, I have a thumb drive, but that's it.
I had a terabyte's worth of storage.
Yeah,
that's a lot. I would never need another one.
Yeah, that's an excessive amount of storage for a regular person.
I figured I could just get one, and it would be good to go for the rest of my life.
Well, you were wrong.
Until my idiot sister dropped it while she was trying to be helpful. I appreciate that. She was helping me move, but she did not help very well.
And then she threw it at the ground.
Pretty much.
Uh-huh.
We can also reference another Lonely Island song if we wanted.
We probably shouldn't.
Oh, it's always a good reference.
Is it?
No.
It's an all right reference.
It's all right.
Adam, what do you got? What do you got this week?
So you hate computers, and last week the way that we worked it out is that you liked something and that you thought something was very useful, and I kind of shat on it.
Yes.
This week, what we're going to do is you hate something, and I hate something different. Every week's
the person filled with hatred.
Oh boy, there are very few things that I actually appreciate. The majority of the things that I witness, I hate. So Alex hates computers. My hatred is Subarus.
Gotcha.
Sounded like you said superheroes. I don't know how you can hate them.
Not superheroes. Superheroes are fine because they're super.
Gotcha.
What I hate is I hate Subarus. The car manufacturer. As in the car. Now, I don't hate Subarus as a company. I don't hate Subaru. Subaru is a fine manufacturer. They make
similarly to how you don't hate the Seattle Seahawks.
No,
you just hate the fans.
Right, exactly. If the car exists, good for the car. What I hate is the people who purchase and drive a Subaru. Because
why?
Now, I feel like I'm getting a little bit over derogatory about. That's a word.
It can be.
Sure.
It is now.
I hate people. What I really hate is people in the city of Seattle who drive a Subaru.
What? You live there? Like,
I feel like you just hate Seattle. Like, why are you
hate
living
hard
there?
on Seattle, but like you live there.
Well, the thing is, maybe this is just me. I just hate wherever I am, I guess. But the people I just hate because the people in Seattle. No, most people in Seattle who drive in Seattle suck. But what I have witnessed is that the people who live in Seattle and drive a Subaru are the worst drivers ever. Every time that something stupid that makes me literally, as I'm sitting alone in my car, yell at the top of my lungs is caused by a person who is driving a Subaru. I have pulled onto a busy highway or interstate, and the person who is driving 10 miles below the speed limit is driving a Subaru. The person who tries to turn into a different lane and who needs to wait for like a fucking mile behind them to be clear is a Subaru. Every person in this city who drives a Subaru sucks. And I'm not trying to like shit on Subarus as a brand because Subarus are fine. I'm
moving there and getting a Subaru.
Anyone who has driven a Subaru historically, I probably generally as a whole agree with and probably like. But if they drive a Subaru in the city of Seattle, I hate them. They are the worst, and they drive like an a-hole.
Okay. You can say asshole. You just said fuck, so.
Thanks for censoring yourself.
I appreciate that, but
they're
the
just
worst
a
of
bunch
the words
of
was already said. Like,
well, gosh darn them.
Gosh darn them.
Kallie, is there anything that just really got your goat this week, that really grinds your gears?
I'm gonna have to go with the driving thing, actually. It wasn't Subarus in particular. I was on the road a lot this week, though, and I wasn't actually a slow driver. I strictly go 10 above the speed limit. That's my thing. Otherwise, I think that cops will pull me over. I think 10 is a good rule. I had people tailing me that were going like 20 over, and I was like, should I be doing this? But I feel like karma will get me, and the cop will pull me over, so I'm saving the cop for that person. But it's like, I probably had like 40 people tail me driving this week. Just like fucking going 20 miles over the speed limit. I was like, dude, you're a douche. And they were always in like, well, one person was in a shithole car, but they were in cars that looked like soccer mom cars. And it's like, okay, well, I know you're trying to validate your coolness in that piece of shit car that you have, but just go 10 over. You're going to get pulled over. So that's my big complaint.
All right, folks, that was
All the small things.
All the Small Things. Hey, Adam, don't you own a cat?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Well, in that case, I suggest using Schrodinger's kitty litter.
Why Schrodinger's?
Well, Schrodinger's kitty litter is the best kitty litter for when your cat does or does not shit in the litter box.
Wow, that's amazing. Schrodinger's kitty litter. It'll get you there.
All right, folks, welcome back. This segment here is the interview portion where we are going to get to know Kallie a little better.
Yeah, section number 2, as we call it.
Section, whatever.
Segment number 2.
Kallie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, you know what? Let's just dive into the life of Kallie Schell.
Well, I currently live in the Twin Cities, and I work as an event assistant for a nonprofit.
What does that mean?
Well, what I do, it varies from day to day, but I do a lot of work on computers, and I do like social media networking, volunteer outreach, strategizing for kind of like team outreach and strategizing for marketing, do some administrative work. For a nonprofit called Red Ribbon Ride, we do HIV and AIDS awareness, and it's a 300-mile bike ride every summer in July. It starts at the Mall of America, and it loops through like Mankato, Waconia, stuff like that, and it ends up at the state capitol in St. Paul. So that is my life.
Okay, so you said
You're
lot
busy. That's a lot of things.
Yes, and I do communications. I'm the communications director for Face Forward Minnesota. We're an arts organization, so I also do social media and communications work for them.
It is. It's fair to say you have your shit together then.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't feed myself very often, but I live on coffee. But in some senses of the word, yeah, I got my shit together.
Yeah, for the most part, which is a stark difference between the two of us.
Right.
Which is kind of why we were hoping to bring you on the show.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Of course. Because, go ahead.
No, we just like to highlight some people that have interesting things to, that have done interesting things and have interesting things to say.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this whole nonprofit thing that the two of you are sort of involved with, I know nothing about.
Well, not you.
Almost literally nothing.
There's not a whole lot to know, I guess. Like nonprofit just means that they're driven by beneficiaries and fundraising and stuff like that.
Yeah, you say nonprofit thing that the both of you are driven by. Like, we are like hardcore non-profiteers. Non-profiteers.
Wasn't that what you just applied for? You were applying for a new job, Adam?
Well, let's just pretend that I didn't.
Okay. Just
so that the people who I work with do not realize that I am trying to get away from what I'm working at.
Gotcha.
No, I mean, like, as Kallie just said, nonprofit is kind of a broad term, right? It's kind of a broad
Well, yeah, like
field.
the NFL is a nonprofit. If you really want to look at it at something that's ridiculous, like the NFL is a nonprofit. Hospitals, Mayo is, I believe, a nonprofit organization. Like,
right.
It just varies so vastly. And then, like, Face Forward Minnesota, who I'm the director of communications for, is a nonprofit, and they have very little money, and it's just all a matter of like formatting, and what it comes down to is still treating it like a business. Like, regardless of if you're a nonprofit or a privatized business or whatever, everything is business oriented, everything is marketing oriented, everything, no matter how you look at it, it comes down to money. And that's like, and I talk to my dad about this a lot, like, you always need money for everything. So it's the thing about nonprofits is you have to pander to grants and like big beneficiaries and explain to them why your cause is worth the money that they have and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's that's part of my job is like making sure I'm marketing it properly and getting the word out.
So you said you're the communications director for Face Forward, is that right?
Yep.
So what all does that involve? When one thinks of communications director, one kind of thinks of like I don't know really what to say. Alex, you want to help me out with this?
It sort of sounds like a buzzword sort of.
Yeah. It's so general.
Yeah. Like what is? I guess you talked a little bit about it, but like walk us through.
Yeah.
Like, a day.
Well, Face Forward is kind of what I'm going to consider like a side project once I start my job that pays me.
Maybe.
But what I do is like we focus on artists in the area. We have a specific artist roster, and they can vary from like painters to poets to spoken word artists to musicians. And I make sure to keep up with them and make sure that they're coming to our events. And I get the word out about our monthly events. I write our newsletter. We have an email address that I check on a regular basis to make sure that we are communicating with the artists that are reaching out to us or the individuals that are reaching out that want to be artists or involved somehow. I post for internships because we have summer internships coming up and we're going to need some. So I kind of like take on that bubble. I'm like the back, like we have 3 other team members and they're like the face of Face Forward. I'm kind of like the background. I'm on the email. I'm on the Google Docs and the spreadsheets and stuff like that.
So you're kind of like I don't want to say like,
if you say secretary, I'll just put my arm through the computer and slap you.
I didn't even say anything yet. Why are you slapping me through the computer?
I don't know. You just looked like you were going to say something like water down my position.
No.
It just looks like you were about to say something condescending.
Not at all. What I was about to say is when you say communications director, it almost sounds like having grown up through the kind of like being politicized by like the West Wing and stuff. You hear communications director and you think like the mastermind of like the message of like this organization. Are you the person that basically drives what this organization is trying to put across to the public? And I'm not trying to say that as like
No, I get what you're saying. And
Like
we work regularly as a team to make sure we're getting our mission out there. But when I market, I make sure that mission is brought across clearly but marketably. So I guess to answer your question, yes, in a way. When you're marketing, like, that's your job. But each of us as a branch, like, the grant writer also has to do that to the beneficiaries. And the artist outreach person also has to make sure that the message is being given across to the artists individually. But I'm taking on that role as well, to, like, talk to artists individually. So I get what you're saying, but, like, it's just kind of a different organization. So, like, it's hard to apply that concept to Face Forward because we work as, like, a little thing, like, just 4 of us work together to get that message out together. But I have to make our message marketable. And as we do that, we will continue to change the message of Face Forward, and that is the point of 2015. And we're rebranding our mission, sort of, to hone in on exactly what we're doing, and that is in order to appeal to the people and our beneficiaries. Like, we really need to hone in, because that's the one thing about nonprofits is, like, you need to have such a clear-cut idea of what you're doing and goal of what you're doing so that they'll give you the money. Because especially Minnesota, I don't know about other states, but, like, the vast number of nonprofits is insane. And they're all appealing for grants. So
Sure.
Let's just, for the sake of argument, say that Adam and I have lots of money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say
And
that.
you are coming to us. Pitch. Go.
No,
Yeah.
my boyfriend did this to me the other day, and I lost.
You lost.
Oh, no, that's too bad because you're the communications director.
So far, you're not doing well.
No,
I
you are.
I don't appeal for grants.
Oh.
Okay, so let's just say that we are the.
Well, this
let's,
fun game was ruined. Thanks.
Let's redo that because because Alex, that was not fair to Kallie. She is the communications director and not the grants director. Let's say that we are the general public, and she needs to appeal to the general public to generally support Face Forward in the cities. Go.
But now we don't have a lot of money, though, Adam. Like, that was the fun part for me.
Yeah, but that's not her job.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Okay, if I was coming to the general public to appeal to you, we are a safe space for artists of various mediums to come to and discuss topics of art. I'm failing right now, aren't I?
No, I like it so far.
Okay,
As a musician, I'm on board.
Okay,
that's a terrible thing just to admit.
We're practicing.
Well, edit that out. Edit it out then.
Too bad.
You can't say that. You can't say that during a press conference.
Okay, so we, as Face Forward, our mission is to promote humanity through arts, through education and collaboration.
Okay.
And we do that by hosting an artist gathering and artist dialogue every month, which allows for a safe space for artists and the public to come and discuss various topics pertaining to art and social awareness in a safe space. And each gathering is led by 2 different artists, and the dialogue is held by an educator from the community. And we also have live recording parties throughout the season, which runs from March to October. And then we also have a showcase at the end of our season. And sometimes on occasion, we do stints at Project Earth and Somerset. So that would be my pitch to the public.
All right.
I'm on board.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Everyone who is listening to this who lives in the Twin City area, you know what? Please support the humanities and please support the arts. And please support Kallie, who is texting on her phone right now.
Sorry, my sister texted me and I thought she said my mom made her cry.
And you just I don't know what to say to that. And
it's
please support Face Forward, and whatever other just general things that our guest Kallie Schell is supporting.
And Red Ribbon Ride.
And the Red Ribbon Ride. The Red Ribbon Ride.
Which is fun to say.
Please, the Red Ribbon Ride.
And Face Forward, Minnesota.
And the Red Ribbon Ride.
And the Red Ribbon Ride. Alex, how about you say that one more time?
The Red Ribbon Ride? Is that what you wanted me to say?
How about you say it like I didn't just cut you off?
Well, we're also supporting the Red Ribbon Ride.
There it is.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Hey, Callie, we appreciate you, too, for all the work that you do. We know that you work hard. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to move to our
third.
What we're going to do is move to our third segment without Kallie cutting me off as the guest.
Yeah, because that was the problem.
Good job putting the wine down.
Where we talk about... What are we talking about, folks?
Well, in honor of March Madness going on right now, we thought, since Adam was in a very, feisty mood today.
Feisty, that's a good mood.
Yeah, Adam's feeling a little feisty. We went ahead and created a 16-team bracket filled with things that Adam hates. Mm-hmm. And Kallie and I will be debating them, and Adam will decide which one moves on.
Now, the thing is, this bracket was constructed just so that everyone who's listening to this knows. I don't know what's in this bracket necessarily. I provided some of the things that I hate, but I don't know the different seedings. I don't know what's competing against each other. So I'll be deciding what I hate more. It'll be, I'm excited to see and to decide what I hate most. This will be kind of fun. So when we come back to the next segment, we will decide what I hate the most. A very upbeat and positive segment.
to just join the rest of this upbeat and positive episode.
Right. So thank you for listening to us, and we will see you on the next segment.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This here is segment 3. We are going to be going over the brackets of things that Adam hates.
This is my favorite segment.
Which is very different from all the other segments that we've done in this podcast in which we've talked about things that Adam hates.
Right.
Kallie. We talked about Kallie, too.
That was my favorite segment. I love myself.
Well, we all know that.
Only half joking on that. Only half joking.
Half.
So in the first, we set it up. We seeded all of these contenders for the thing that Adam hates most. How do you want me to do this then, buddy? Do you want me to list all the matchups right now, or do you want me to just unveil the curtain as we go?
I like listing the matchups. I think that's a good idea.
All right. In the first bracket, we have Shitty Women taking on Michael Bay.
Now, Shitty Women, maybe I don't remember that one so well. How do we describe Shitty Women?
I think this was Callie's idea.
Kallie, would you like to explain Shitty Women?
Just in one impersonation.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's good.
Can you just impersonate a shitty woman?
I know you can.
Could I get a salad and can we go shopping today? Because I just want to shop all day long and then go get my nails done.
Yeah, exactly. That came so easy to you that it almost hurts.
All right, so Shitty Women is a 1 seed.
1 seed.
That is the 4 seed of Michael Bay. Not just Michael Bay, but also Michael Bay movies.
Well, I think that Michael Bay counts as Michael Bay movies, right?
Yeah, and explosions. Just unnecessary explosions.
Because I don't know the guy, so it kind of has to default to his movies. That's what he's known for, right?
All right. The other half of that bracket is Valentine's Day versus something that they just told me. It's a story, but it's Edward 40 Hands.
So, and
I'm assuming it was a terrible idea.
So just generally the act of taping 2 40s to your hands and then drinking them before
dying.
Yeah, right.
You have to drink them till they're empty and then you can take them off your hands.
Well, I understand the concept of the game.
That night was just particularly bad.
Well, I've only ever done it once, and it was that night.
I taped Moscato to my hands.
So we both did a variation of Edward 40 Hands, and it did not end well.
No.
From what I remember.
In the next bracket, we have the 1 seed of Subarus, which we talked about earlier in the podcast, versus the 4 seed of Bugs.
Bugs. I hate bugs.
Little insects. All right.
I hate bugs. They scare me, and whenever I get the fight or flight, the reflex, it's always flight when I see a bug.
You're a child.
Yes.
You're also just a little girl.
Yes, I am.
All right. The other half of that bracket is something that happened pretty much right before we started recording this podcast. Kallie mixed up who wrote the song Imagine? Was it John Legend or was it John Lennon?
Whoa. I had a tongue tie. I know that John Lennon wrote it. Just to be clear to the audience.
She knows that John Legend wrote Imagine.
No.
She's fully aware.
Oh my god. Oh.
So that's a pretty strong 4 seed.
That's a 2.
Oh.
That's a 2 right there.
That's a 2 seed, huh?
Yep, taking on the 3 seed of Bad Liquors.
Oof.
Which
that'll be
kind of funny based on tonight.
That'll be an interesting matchup.
Yes. All right, the other side of our bracket, we have the number 1 seed of People taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
And I also hate the Seahawks. Another good matchup.
The other half of that bracket is bad Owen Wilson movies.
Oh man, yep.
Versus the middle western portion of this country.
Yeah, I also hate the Midwest. That is another good matchup. I think that people
That's a strong bracket.
It's a strong matchup that people might underestimate.
I think that Owen Wilson movies are gonna have to lose to that one.
Oh, I guess we'll see. Okay, so
the final quarter of our bracket here, the number 1 thing of right wing politics, taking on young adult fiction.
That might be easier.
Nicholas Sparks, as Kallie pointed out earlier when we were making this.
Uh-huh. He's not young adult though.
He's not? What is he?
He's just shitty.
All right.
Whoa. Because as I remember, she was pretty far in his camp.
Nah.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I don't like Nicholas Sparks.
Have you blacked out already?
Yeah, he's just like a manufactured.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Who just pumps out romance novels?
No. Who wrote? No, I'm sorry. I was thinking John Green.
Oh, John Green. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like John Green. He did The Fault in Our Stars. Yeah.
I like John Green though, but I hate.
The last matchup in that bracket is people who are on their phone at a social gathering.
Okay.
Taking on people who walk slowly.
That's another good one. You guys have put together some good matchups here. So let's start at the beginning. We'll go with the first matchup.
All right.
Begin.
I'm going to argue that Michael Bay is just one of the worst things ever to happen to cinema.
Was that the first matchup?
Versus Shitty Women.
Shitty Women.
Callie, you're going to have to argue Shitty Women.
Okay, so Callie will argue one, and you will argue the other, and I will decide between the two. Because I hate both, but I would also, I would like to have arguments against both.
Yep. It's a 1 versus a 4 here.
Okay.
My argument is that Michael Bay has almost destroyed the creative process of movies, creating cinema.
And how so?
Okay.
There's really no sort of original any screenwriting at all. And it's just overproduced, remanufactured garbage.
Uh-huh.
That people pay, $10 to see, and they think it's just the greatest thing in the world. When really there are just phenomenal movies being made.
Like what?
But all right, we're going to talk, all-time great movies at this point. Like, you could go down the list, the AMC 100 if you wanted.
Yeah, the thing is, those weren't made necessarily during the Michael Bay era. So these are things that I hate. I feel like you are arguing poorly to win this thing, That was well said.
Yeah, it was great. What part of ruining it, the artistic process is a bad argument?
He makes a good point.
It is.
All right, it isn't. Go ahead, Callie.
Shitty women, go.
Why should shitty women win?
Shitty women. When I think of shitty women, I think of superficial women who make checklists for relationships and don't really think for themselves. So I think that they're the reason you guys aren't getting laid.
Oh, that was a strong argument.
Oh, bullshit.
She went, the thing is, you could have gone for the heart like that, but she went for the... I'm going to go with shitty woman on this one.
Chalk.
I'm sorry, man. You made a poor argument.
Chalk.
You went to the top 100 movies with, The Shining. It was not made during the Michael Bay era. You did not...
The Shining was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I love that movie very much. And Alex made an argument towards that movie that was not made while Michael Bay was making his own movies. So he put together a poor argument for Michael Bay movies.
Okay, that's
and
just
you
like
made a strong argument, which
logic.
means you win.
That
No, that wasn't.
Stupidest logic
That was
I've ever heard.
Pretty dumb argument that you
next
made.
Next one.
Next.
All right,
We're gonna
Kallie
move on
wants
to
to
the
go.
next one.
Kallie doesn't want to do this anymore, so we'll start moving a little more quickly. All right.
Oh, my sister.
Valentine's Day versus Edward 40 Hands. I feel like you have to argue Edward 40 Hands because you know the experience.
Edward 40 Hands puts you down a flight of stairs with bottles on your hands. So
Did that happen, Adam?
I don't
Is
remember.
that you?
I do not remember.
that happened to me.
That's unfortunate. All right, Valentine's Day, Adam.
Go.
We were talking about superficial earlier.
Right.
Really, how superficial is Valentine's Day? Because you're dealing with all these shitty women that have romanticized the notion that in order for the magical experience of love to happen, that Valentine's Day is one of those checklists that Kallie had mentioned earlier.
Yep.
It's one of the quintessential, sort of experiences that really means nothing. Like if you think about it, what is the difference between do you care about that person more on that specific day than you would any other day? Like what is its purpose?
That's a good point. Or you know what? Valentine's Day wins.
Okay.
On to the next. Kallie argued pretty strongly for Edward 40 Hands on that one.
You fall downstairs. It hurts.
Next. Go.
All right. We have the number 1 seed Subaru taking on the number 4 seed Bugs.
Ooh. This might be a tougher matchup than people give it credit for.
Just think about how big of a girl you are.
Yeah. I'm thinking of it.
I'll take Subarus.
All right. Well, we heard Adam rant about Subarus, so we know all the arguments for.
You know how much that I hate Subarus.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you hate Subarus in Seattle. Subarus in Seattle are bad because people in Seattle inherently do not know how to drive Subarus.
I feel like you just have the easiest argument here. You can just repeat everything he said.
They just drive extra slow and like have to put a mile between cars before they fucking merge over. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. I can't believe that shit happened.
It's so ridiculous. I can't believe it either, Kallie.
Oh my god,
I think I lost.
They don't even put blinkers on. I don't even know.
Okay, so Bugs. Let's go, Alex. Bugs.
You're just they're creepy crawly, and you, as you said earlier, your fight or flight is always flight. So you have an inherent fear of these bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is something that you, as a person, you just deal with on a day-to-day basis. How often do you actually deal with the Subaru compared to how often you have the potential to see a bug? Just sheer numbers on this point.
So the thing is, you made an argument for the Subarus because I deal with a Subaru on a daily basis. So Subarus it is.
How many Subarus
Done.
are there compared to how many bugs?
That's a different argument. There are many less Subarus than there are bugs.
Yes, so the potential for you having to deal with them and
But
being...
the harm that could come from a Subaru not turning its blinker on is so much more.
Fuck you guys.
She's right. Done. Subaru, go.
All right, bad liquor versus the great debate of Legend versus Lennon. Kallie, which do you want?
Who's taking what?
I will take Legend versus Lennon.
Bad liquor.
Take bad liquor first.
Okay. I feel like Alex knows a thing or two about bad liquor.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I know a little bit.
And Kat a thing or two about mistaking John Lennon and John Legend.
yeah, sometimes the last names run together and it's an accident. And sometimes people are 16 and don't know the difference between two different musicians, and that's a real shame.
And sometimes somebody makes that mistake in front of the wrong person.
And hates themselves for it. So I want my own I hate myself bracket, and that's all it's going to be.
That's a strong argument.
All right. Think about all the times, Adam, being the high functioning, moderate alcoholic that you are.
Hey. High functioning, low level alcoholic.
I apologize.
That is a thing.
All right, you are a high-functioning, low-level alcoholic. How much bad liquor have you had?
Oh boy, a lot. And it was only really in college that I've had really bad liquor because that's when you learn.
You're figuring it out.
Yeah, and as much as I do that the two of us were pretty, I don't want to say straight edge, but we were pretty, for lack of a better term, we were pretty straight edge in high school.
Yes, yep. You were nerds.
So
yeah,
I mean, if you want a different term from straight edge, I mean nerds, and that's okay.
Right.
I was too.
I got good at playing the drums.
I was sheltered.
Yeah, we were sheltered. We did not do much in high school because we had plenty of other things to keep ourselves entertained. So once I hit college, that first year in college is really when one learns, when one is straight edge in high school, or nerds, as Kallie said. One learns the first year of college, really, about what bad alcohol is. And
how did it make you feel? Like, physically, how did you feel?
What do you mean?
That noise explains it all.
Yeah, it kind of makes your body sore. Like, you get sore for some reason.
Yeah, it's the worst. Bad alcohol is the worst.
So I'm counting it as a win. Bad alcohol wins.
Yeah. My mistakes will never be rectified, though.
That's something you're just going to have to shame.
I'm just going to have to live with that. I apologize for the mix-up, and sorry, John.
You argued for the other person there.
It's fine.
I just can't, I just hate myself for saying that.
Kallie, as somebody who messes up words all the time, you probably, very possibly could have won that argument there if you tried.
You were also the one that put it on the bracket because you thought it was just the most, ridiculous thing. So, saying that you're the one that messes up words all the time is, kind of...
You matched it up against bad liquor, and, that's the worst.
I didn't match it up. You guys matched it up.
That is true. I did the seeding.
Yeah.
All right. The other half of the bracket now, we have the one seed of people taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
God, are people the worst?
Who wants what?
I don't know how anything's going to beat people. They're the Kentucky of this bracket.
Yeah, they are.
Sorry, it's people. I've been in the service industry long enough that it's people.
I've been alive long enough to know that people suck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Adam, you drive by people in Subarus. People suck.
All right, you slow the fuck down there. You can't just combine Adam's biggest hatreds. You can't combine two one seeds, you dick. I'm gonna have no chance of winning anything.
So I guess Subarus win. No, people
as much
win.
As you dislike Seattle Seahawks fans, people are the worst.
Yeah, no, people.
I can't relate with the Seahawks thing, so I can't argue that one.
Bad Owen Wilson movies versus living in the Midwest.
Oh man. So
this is a tough one. This is a 2 versus 3. This is a toss-up.
So who wants what? Let's decide that first.
I'll take bad Owen Wilson movies.
That's tough because I don't mind living in the Midwest.
How about I take living in the Midwest because I don't know many bad Owen Wilson movies.
Alex, do you know much about bad Owen Wilson movies?
There have been a few.
Okay.
They're not a whole lot.
So the thing is, I really enjoy Owen Wilson as an actor and a person, and when he makes a really shitty movie, it kind of depresses me, because it's
a stinker. He has a couple of stinkers.
He's been in a lot of movies that I have really enjoyed. Really, primarily most of the Wes Anderson movies that he's made.
Oh, yeah.
Every one of those have been great.
Zoolander is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Zoolander was great. He was in Anchorman, briefly, but he was in it. And I enjoyed that.
I don't know if that one counts.
Maybe not really. But he's also been in The Internship, which I watched, and was not very good.
Yeah. He was in a movie with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he was.
Called I Spy.
That was just the worst.
Not the best.
Because because of the pedigree, you expect a movie that he's in is good. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's really bad, not only is it just a bad movie, which is disappointing.
It doesn't even have to be really bad.
No, it's just bad. If it's just bad, not only is it a bad movie, but it seems worse because most of the movies that he decides to be in are pretty good. So when he's in a bad one, it's just even more disappointing.
All right, Kallie, take it away.
That's pretty strong. Pretty strong. So living in the Midwest, go.
Living in the Midwest is pretty stagnant. Although it's nice to see the seasons, winter does last significantly longer than all of the rest of them. So I'd like to see the mountains. I guess the Midwest is just pretty boring. Like, there's not much going on. And yes, with, like, Wisconsin, like, where we grew up, very beautiful. The bluffs are beautiful. But if you go to, like, Iowa or... I saw the look on your face, like, or anywhere.
Stealing my own argument. God damn it.
Anywhere over there, like, it's all flat and boring and disgusting. So, I don't know. Just going elsewhere is more beautiful and scenic. I like the Southwest portion myself. So, I don't know. The Midwest is pretty boring except for the cheese.
So, despite that really awful argument that you just put up, having been a person who moved from the Midwest because I hate the Midwest so much, I'm going to pick bad Owen Wilson movies. Whoa!
Sorry. I'm not a good debater.
You were the M. Night Shyamalan of that pick.
Twist!
You were the shitty M. Night Shyamalan movie of this bracket right now.
I psyched you guys out.
This is a tough one here. Right-wing politics.
Uh-huh.
Versus young adult fiction.
This is tough because I don't like either very much.
I don't know anything about either. So Kallie is going to argue both of them, and you're just going to decide.
That's fine. Go ahead, Kallie.
All right. I'm tired.
And Alex will laugh.
Young adult fiction. I refuse to argue against this. Like, I believe. Okay.
I know how much you like it.
I value all literature for what it is.
All right, all right. English
as long as
major.
people are reading.
Wow.
I am an English major. Yes, I am.
You could be an elementary school librarian with that phrase. As long as people are reading, the world goes on.
That's right. People need to expand their brains.
Just like, what about bad? Like, what if it's just bad?
If it's bad young adult fiction or like bad shitty romance novels, whatever.
I'm not arguing romance
what's the
novels.
Point? Like, what's the point of that? Like, bleh, you're not growing intellectually. It's like eating.
That's what we're talking about.
It's like eating McDonald's. Like, you're just there and like fattening up and it's just bad for your brain. Like, it's like reading Us Weekly or something. Like, it's no good. It's not helping you intellectually. You're just pissing away time. So that's bad young adult fiction is basically that. And you're giving it to kids, and that's no good.
That's kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Okay. So then right-wing politics.
I guess we just put young adult fiction because it's easier for me to write.
Okay. So right-wing politics is a laughing stock. It's like a circus and right now as the presidential candidates come out, it's becoming more of a circus, and Ted Cruz is like the ringleader of it right now. But
Yikes. Strong words for our right-wing political listeners right now. Oof.
Is it bad that I don't know who that is?
He's a teabagger, so.
Wait, Ted Cruz? You don't know who Ted Cruz is?
No.
Oh.
Get on Huffington Post or any other, whatever, The Guardian, anything.
Or just anything.
I'm fine.
Or just anything.
He's the only.
Who Louis Belson is? I don't think so.
He's the only candidate to announce this year so far.
I don't know, man. Do you know who Louis Belson is? Because I do.
That doesn't matter.
These are things you guys care about, and that's something I care about.
Anyways.
Well, God is the future of the country. I'm sorry.
So that is those are my arguments. I have a sister to call, so those are my arguments.
Oh, I'm so glad. She has something else to do, so those are her arguments. Well,
hey,
you know
we've been on here for almost 3 hours, so yeah.
That's not my fault.
Yes,
actually, yeah. It is.
All right, who wins, Adam?
Right-wing politics wins.
All right. People on phones during social occasions versus people who walk slowly.
People on phones.
You don't choose, I choose.
I'm choosing for you.
She just really is sick of us. That's the problem.
I choose people who walk slowly of those two.
All right.
Fine.
All right.
Suck it,
She's
Kallie.
just happy it's moving. All right, back to the other bracket. We have shitty women versus Valentine's Day. Pretty similar. You've heard arguments for both. Go ahead and pick, buddy.
I'm gonna choose Shitty Woman.
All right. Bad Liquor versus Subaru.
Subarus.
People versus Bad Owen Wilson movies.
Upset alert.
Oh God.
Bad Owen Wilson movies.
Oh God. Kentucky went down. This is an omen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Right wing politics versus slow walking.
Ooh, that's
Come
tough.
on.
I'm gonna do the right wingers.
All right. In the semifinal matchup, we have
Final Four.
Yeah, we're in the Final Four here.
Final Four.
Subaru, Bad Owen Wilson, and right wing politics in the Final Four here. So the first matchup, Shitty Women versus Subarus.
So this is an important match. I feel like the two of you should argue for both. Shitty Women versus Subarus. Go.
Heard the arguments. They're not new.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You've made the argument for one of them.
Man, as much as I want to pick awful women, I'm going to pick Subarus in Seattle.
Whew. The 1 seed taking down the 1 seed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Right-wing politics, also a 1 seed,
mm-hmm.
versus Bad Owen Wilson movies, a 2 seed.
The thing is, I feel like there will always be bad right-wing politicians, right?
Yes.
But there isn't always going to be awful Owen Wilson movies. There will be a point where bad Owen Wilson movies will end.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick bad Owen Wilson movies.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, but we're going on.
Welcome to my life.
In the final matchup, this is for the championship of things that Adam hates. We have Subarus versus bad Owen Wilson movies.
This is kind of this is an unprecedented matchup.
Is it?
Not really.
What do you got, buddy? What do you got?
Oh boy. So the thing is, I will anytime anything, and I know I've bitched about this for minutes. Anytime anything happens, it's always a Subaru. When I'm driving and somebody cuts me off, I look at it, and it's a Subaru. Anytime I'm driving at any speed and I have to slam on my brakes because there's a car who doesn't want to keep up with traffic, it's a Subaru.
I'm driving to Seattle, so my Nissan Altima can fucking cut you off.
Anytime that there is a person who doesn't feel like merging into the left lane because it can't get that much clearance, it's always a Subaru. So I am picking
Bad Owen Wilson movies.
I'm picking Subarus.
There you have it, folks. That is the thing that Adam hates the most.
Subarus win the championship of things that I hate. Seattle Subarus. You are the
Seattle
worst.
Subarus. You're the worst. Congratulations.
In the strongest podcast finish in podcast history.
There you have it, folks.
That being said, thank you so much, Kallie, for barely holding on.
It's been great.
Yeah,
we're busy people. We get it.
I could hear.
You have things going on.
I could hear how great it was in your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah. I miss you guys. It was good seeing you.
It was good seeing you too. So next week we're gonna try and do this question thing because, well, why not? I guess, right?
Might as well.
So if you have any questions whatsoever that are appropriate that you feel like we can actually put on air, please email them to Reunited and It Feels So @gmail.com. And we will try and address them in the next episode where we have on, we don't really know.
Actually, yeah, we do, buddy.
Do we?
It is confirmed that Brad Winterstein is going to be our next guest.
Shut up!
Live from India, folks. Live from India.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, Brad is going to be our next guest. We are probably going to be recording it pretty soon, just because I'm on spring break and I have a lot of free time.
So we will be recording that soon. We will be putting that out probably not so soon. And it will be great. So on the next episode, look forward to Brad Winterstein which I assume most of you do know because nobody who doesn't know us probably is not listening to this.
Brad is the biggest star in all of India. There's no bigger, more important person than Brad Winterstein.
And there is no whiter man in India than Brad Winterstein.
That is very true.
He has some history with tigers.
Oh,
and
boy.
we'll just tease that a little bit. We'll tease the tigers. We will tease tigers a little bit.
He knows a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to tigers.
And we hope you join us for the next episode.
Absolutely.
I'm Adam.
I'm Alex, and thank you so much for listening to Reunited, and it feels so. We'll see you next week.